From obsessing over golf and burning herself out completely to finding a much better career alternative and doing amazingly well, here's the real reason why Paige Spiranac quit her pro golf career. Insta's OG golf gal is always ready to help out her fans with their on-court skills. But there's one thing about her that always raises some questions. You never see her play pro. That's right, she's always present at majors and tournaments, but only to cheer from the stands. And when it comes to competing herself, she'd much rather pass the club to someone else. Now, this is rather bizarre because the social media influencer has made a career out of her golfing tips. Not many people know that she used to play golf all the time and even participated in some competitions. But in the end, burnout found her and, well, her career was laid to rest. All that sounds a bit sad, because one thing Paige has proved over the years is that pro or not pro, she definitely belongs on the course. I mean, have you seen her shots? Paige even has more followers than Tiger Woods. So if she was a pro golfer right now, then I bet she'd be the most popular one out there. And it's not like Paige just gave up on her career out of the blue. Oh no, that was hardly the case. In fact, even today, sometimes her decision to leave professional golf still haunts her. She's constantly worried about whether it was the right decision. I'm guessing that's the main reason why Paige pours herself into her career as a golf influencer now. She just wants to give it her best effort and not give up on it. But to be fair, the social media star tried out professional golfing for over a year, and as it turned out, she really wasn't cut out for it. Now, can we really hold that against her? In an episode of her podcast, Playing Around with Paige, she revealed all the juicy details about how she started off as a golfer. Spiranac had a really old connection to the game. She actually first started playing it back when she was 12 after quitting gymnastics, and when she teed off for the first time, that's when she fell in love with the sport and ended up dedicating everything she had to be a pro golfer. So technically, she started off when she was 12. That's pretty young, I know, but you gotta do what you gotta do if you want to make it. And get this, things seem to be working out for a young Paige. She would practice every single day, morning until night, because she only had one dream: becoming a pro golfer. And hey, it was sort of worth all the hard work since she became a highly ranked junior golfer. But all that came to an end pretty soon when she faced a tough choice: college or turning pro. Yeah, that ought to leave anyone confused. After thinking things through, she went to college. After all, not only would she be able to continue her studies, but also see a different side of the game and play on a team. Sounds like a win-win to me, but that's where things took a dark turn. She went to the University of Arizona and San Diego State University, and played the sport over there before turning pro. Now at this point, Paige had lost any sort of balance in her life. It was all golf, golf, and more golf for her. What made everything worse is that even though she made the sport her priority, the results she saw weren't really good. So at the end of the day, it didn't matter if golf was all she thought about because there were no results. Previously, when she quit gymnastics, it wasn't because things were going bad. Nope, in fact, she gave up as she kept getting injured. But with golf, in her own words, it just wasn't happening. Safe to say, this was a really scary time for Spiranac. In her podcast, she opened up about how it was driving her crazy, and that with the amount of effort she was putting in, her achievements should have been at a much higher level. What made it worse was that even Paige couldn't figure out what was wrong. She believed she had everything to be a world-class golfer, but I just couldn't put it together. The poor soul didn't know what was happening to her, or why for that matter. Things just got so crazy for her that in the end, she just let go. That's right, she just stopped caring. Sounds like a tough decision, but Spiranac decided to give it a try one last time. In her last semester at San Diego State, the golfer went pro. And can you guess what happened? things flipped. Everything was upside down, and the young Paige blew up on social media. For a moment, it seemed like everything was falling into place. The golfer even forgot about her degree. Yep, that's another one of her surprising revelations from this episode. Paige Spiranac never got her degree. Turns out she was 2 credits short of getting her degree, but hey, when pro golf calls, you've gotta drop everything. Because of her newfound fame, the player was invited to play at the Omega Dubai Ladies Masters. This just so happened to be her first pro tournament. Even here, people couldn't get enough of her, but sadly, poor Paige couldn't handle all the stress of the sport. She was mentally exhausted. When talking about her failure, the golf influencer opened up about the tough standards of the game. She shared that in golf, you fail more than you succeed, and how she kept failing in the eyes of the public. And while Paige might have found a way to come to terms with her failures, the fact that people kept on telling her to quit didn't help her at all. They just kept calling her out and saying mean things. You should give up. You're not good. Listening to comments like these had become a part of her everyday routine. So when you take all this into regard, and then add up all the mental issues she was already facing, it makes sense that the young golfer decided to quit pretty soon. Okay, I feel really bad for the poor golfer now, but young Paige didn't quit completely. She always kept the option of going back open. It's just that it never really worked out like that, and even to this day, she'd rather stick to her social media accounts and share tips for what to do on the course. But when it comes to actually competing, she'd much rather pass. Now the thing is, even though she's super successful now, Paige continues to wonder if it's the right decision or not. She said that it keeps her up at night, and giving up on her dreams makes her feel like a failure. That much makes sense, doesn't it? After all, she set her mind on becoming a pro at the age of 12. That's so many years of wishing and hoping that things would turn out right, but sadly, she never made it. So it's clear that the influencer still has trouble believing this, but there's a silver lining here. Seems like she's finally found her peace now. After all, Paige's career as a social media influencer and golf instructor really took off. When speaking about it, she said that it was a more fulfilling journey and that all her energy and dedication was going into this now. And well, if you ask me, the star's doing pretty well for herself. So good that she's even got tons and tons of people copying her. And by that, I mean the same outfits and literally the same posts. Isn't that a sign that she made it? What's more, Paige's influence just continues to grow. She's nearing 4 million Instagram followers, and I'm sure that at the end of 2023, the social media star will be somewhere near 5 million. If it continues like this, she's gonna leave big players like Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, and Greg Norman behind, in terms of popularity, of course. She's even got tons of endorsement deals that help her earn a steady income. I'm talking about Callaway Golf, Golf Digest, Sports Illustrated, and Women's Health, among many others. Plus, her net worth is currently sitting at a cozy $3 million. Oh, and did you know she also became the ambassador for PointsBet, an online betting platform? So with all these fun deals coming her way, Paige is happier than ever. And hey, how can I forget about her subscription-only website, OnlyPage? Yep, that's a play on OnlyFans. Spiranac knows to use her sexuality in a positive way, and well, that's one of her key tools in building a fan base for herself. On that note, from finding a much better alternative career and doing amazingly well to obsessing over golf and burning herself out completely, that was all for the real reason why Paige Spiranac quit her pro golf career.